Sorry, it said start streaming, and I screwed up the joke. That would have been really funny if I'd played it properly. Sorry, I was gonna scream at the start of the stream and shout. I was gonna scream at the start of the stream, and then say it told me to start screaming. But well, you know, sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to, and that's okay too. Anyway, hello everyone. Uh, I have not sent this in any of the chats I usually send it in for the start of the stream, so let me get that stream key code thing. I know what I'm doing. I don't. I can't actually find the command. Yeah, hi everyone. Sorry, this is going. Anyway, if you somehow managed to find this, which I don't know how you did because I can't find it right now. Uh, Hi, welcome to the stream. I am Jojo997. I play Minecraft a lot here and other stuff too, but right now we're doing Minecraft, so we're gonna go with this is a Minecraft stream. And I'm going to talk about a number of different things I saw in the past couple weeks, while also working on a new project. I want to save the proper intro for when I actually, find the link, because I'm checking my YouTube studio. It's not showing up there. It's not showing up on my end here on the OBS programming. I know what words are. Oh, here, no, I got it. That's fun. I'm glad it showed up this time. Okay, let me just send this in all places I normally send this thing. Okay, that is sent in 1. That is sent in 2. And do I want to plug it anywhere else? Yeah, I think I do actually want to put it on the tumbles. Okay, so like all the advertisements say about this, that's not how that works on Tumblr. Sorry. Apologies. This is being. Let's be polite and call it annoying. I've deleted the key. God, it's so hard being an influencer, guys. No idea. I'm kidding. I'm being facetious now. It's a thing I do. Okay. Hopefully this gets it to work. Okay, that link should be live. Okay. Hello. Hi. Yes. It is I, Jojo997, returned from the Screaming Grave. Once again, we will be today constructing a new project idea I had. I want to build the Kennedy Space Center. It's the station in Florida where NASA handled most of the moon launches and also responsible for a number of other developments. Right now, Artemis is set to launch from there, and SpaceX does launches from there. I think it's a cool building, and I've been looking at designs, and I would like to recreate it to some extent. The problem is I don't have a great vision for how that's going to work. So I am pulling up mapping images right now of it for reference. And also, it's probably not going to be 1-to-1 because there's a lot going on there. There's only so much I can build. But I'm building this with the eventual goal of trying to make it a survival base. It's going to be a while before I get around to that, though. So for now, we're just going to prototype around, mess around with some concepts. final build's probably not going to look like the real thing now that I'm looking at it, or even before, because I did look at it before. I'm saying a lot of things like I didn't do any prep, and I did some prep. I've been looking at photos of this for a couple days now. If I look at it, get to me mostly I want to build a hangar. I'm not liking how this is presenting on Steam, but that's not the point. The point is we are going to build this station, and for reference, I am looking at dimensions on how to start this. I kind of want to start. Now, the appropriate thing to do is to start by blocking things out. And to block things out, you need a rough estimate how long things are going to be. So we've got, looking at the photo, looking at the aerial photos I'm pulling right now, we've got we've got 3 full-size parking lots that are about the size of the building, which is a good reference to start with. And each of these parking chunks holds 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 6, 7, estimating about 30 rows of cars. That's not accurate because there's a lot of space between them and the space I'm calling. Hey, Noah. Oh, good. Shit, I can't. Having a sound problem, am I? This is fine. What's going on with the sound? Is this better? Did you come in when I was mumbling? I don't know. Having some issues with my microphone. That could be it. Okay, how about now? This better? Because I think for once my mic might be working. Okay, so we got 3 chunks of parking lot, about 30 tall, and about how many wide was it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. It's about 18 wide, 30 tall, and that's 10-foot chunks. So, to be safe, we're going to call that blocks about a meter, which is about 1.6. I'm forgetting the meter to foot ratio. This is problematic. What's the meter to foot ratio? I'm doing math in my head on stream. This is a number of things that streamers are told never to do, but we're going to do them anyway because that's how we do things here. 3 feet, okay. So that's 18 by 30. Here, let's get signs. God, 121 menus a lot. 30. Parking lot is 30 by 18. Cars. Car equals 10 feet. Meter equals 3 feet. Okay, I got the bit better message. I'm not sure how much delay that is, though. So, this is going to be a thing for a bit. Let's try... see if I can mess with this a bit. You know what? If it's better now, we'll deal with it. I think I hit some switch, so hopefully that does something. So that's about 30 times 30. These are rough numbers. No, I'm not sure if you're here for the start of this or heard, but I'm trying to roughly build the Kennedy Space Center. I'm looking at it. I don't have good maps or anything for it. So I am, as of right now, just kind of eyeballing some distances to put some blocks down while I talk about the things I wanted to talk about on stream. 30 times 18. 3 times 8 is 24. 54. 500. Okay, so 900 by 540 blocks. Because a block's a meter. Sorry, it just hit me how many blocks that is. So, yeah, we're probably not going to place them all. We're going to just place some while I think about how I want to do this. So how many stacks is that? That's let's go. Yeah, so the goal of the stream was to talk about some of the movies I've seen and TV shows I've seen the past couple days because I've seen some interesting ones and I want to process them all in a good space. But accompanying that is going to be Minecrafting. So part of the problem here is figuring out how to balance the two. The movie that I saw for context, I'm going to get interrupted, aren't I, by trying to do more math. Or I saw Beetlejuice 2. I saw Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, which is actually a streaming series. And I saw and I just finished the first episodes of Agatha All Along, the new hit Marvel TV show. And a lot of them, there's stuff that's worth talking about on them. And I don't know, that'd be interesting if I broke them all down live. I've had the most time to sit with Beetlejuice, so I'll start there. Right now, I'm trying to figure out, by the way, I am trying to figure out roughly how many stacks I need so I can just place the stacks and talk. And that's the ratio here, 225, 16. We'll talk about Beetlejuice when I get this math done. What's 225 divided by 2 is 117.5 times 8. Let's call it 116 over 8. Just remember we lost a 0.5 over 8 plus 116. You know, I specifically thought this time I'm going to be better about stream prep, and I thought it was going to, and I thought I did. And then I'm doing this, and I'm just, you know, some people pretend they know what they're doing. I've learned a lot about pretending to know what I'm doing lately. So that's 14 and a half stacks plus 4 blocks. So that's 32 plus 4. That's 14 and 36. Okay. 14 stacks, 36 blocks of concrete for the first row. We'll do the rest by sophisticated technological means. But for now, I want to just get something I can do for visual stimulation while I'm actually trying to explain what I'm thinking about. Oh yeah, Nola. Okay, Nola, I see you talking about Beetlejuice. Let's go game mode survival and get to work. Yeah, so Beetlejuice is the first one I want to talk about. Um, I've never seen the original movie. I don't know if you have, Nola. I haven't seen the original movie. I have seen the musical, and I really like the musical. It's a fun musical, catchy songs. Alex Brightman's great. It's a good time. I thought the musical was good. However, the movie itself, from what I hear, is kind of weird and out there, even by my standards, and I like things that are weird and out there. Just in terms of what Beetlejuice is like in that, how he is with Lydia, the character. Anyway, I walked in with all of that, understanding that it was probably going to be creepier than the show and less tongue in cheek about it. The musical, I think, is the best version of the Beetlejuice story. It's a very tongue in cheek version of the story. Like the whole thing about Beetlejuice having to marry Lydia, it's played in that as a joke that it's an immigration thing that even he's uncomfortable with, and I think that works much better. Beetlejuice in the show is generally a more fun character who is more lonely than creepy, and I think that works better. I need a better system for that. Let's put one more block in the stack. Delete that. Delete that. I should give myself a pickaxe while I'm thinking about this. Minecraft. Netherite pick. Enchant. Let's put that in my offhand. Anyway, yeah, yeah, I'm setting up this pickaxe. Where was I? Yeah, I'm trying to stay in survival so I can count the blocks as I place them. Yeah, so Beetlejuice in the show is much more of a lonely character, and all the haunting and creepy stuff he does is more about trying to find human connection, which I like more as a concept than a generic haunted ghost. And I think it probably works better on stage that way too. However, the movie, he's more of a creep. And the sequel kind of goes into that, I'd say. It's an interesting movie on its own. With the context I have for the franchise and the character, like, it's a fine movie, and I think we need more mediocre movies out there. Would I recommend seeing it in theaters? Probably not. But also, it wasn't offensively bad. Like, I've seen offensively bad movies, and this was not one. It was just more mediocre. One of the funny things about it to me, just structurally, was every character seemed like they were doing their own plot, and there were things that happened in one character story arc and another character story arc that were the exact same thing, but they had nothing to do with each other. Also, there were like three main villains that were all competing for attention, and all of them had completely separate things going on. Basically, it reads like they had a bunch of ideas for this movie, and they didn't know which one they wanted to do, so they put them all in the movie, which is not great as a finished product. And there were several moments where I turned to my sister who I was watching it with, and I said, "What the fuck is going on?" Which, I mean, I don't mind in movie experience. I actually like it when movies get to the point where I say that, but when it's fun and entertaining and not just poorly structured. So that's my general review of Beetlejuice 2, or as I call it, Beetlejuice. It was good for what it was, I'd say though. I don't know if I can answer specific questions about it. I don't know what questions, Nola, you would have. But based on Nola, because you're the only person I see watching according to everything right now, the I don't know if you'd like it. And I'll ask you about your reasons for it later. I'm assuming you don't want to get into those in a public discourse or a public forum. But yeah, I don't think you would like it. But also, I don't think you dislike it. So like, if you want to go, just see something weird, fuck around with it. Hey, hey, Galfrey, good to see you. Welcome. We're just talking about Beetlejuice 2, or as they call it, Beetlejuice, or as I call it, Beetlejuice. Nola, if that's what you think happens in Beetlejuice 2, it's I've given you a bit of a misleading impression. It's much more disjointed than that. Like, it's not intentional that everyone's doing a different plot. It's more of a bad writing kind of disjoint than a this is a interesting concept. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't know. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie to see with someone, and it's fine. Again, it is totally, completely fine and mediocre, but fun. There is some straight up horror shit in there that gets thrown in randomly that doesn't make sense with anything else. But you know, Tim Burton. It's Tim Burton. The guy's weird. What can I say? There's also a lot of, let's call them anti woke jokes, but not even like pointed. It's like he vaguely understands the concept of people having different politics to him and is annoyed about it, but not annoyed enough to have a coherent opinion. That is a pink sheep. I don't think I've ever seen one of these spawn naturally before. That's cool. Huh. Yes, Nola, I would. If it's a choice between the two movies, see Sonic 3. Speaking of, I have not seen the other ones yet, and that's a thing I want to do. If this goes well and I like this format, I may intentionally watch them for another stream. I haven't seen the other two Sonics. Let's see if I can do it this way to save time. Gray concrete. 540. Hey, it worked. I wasn't expecting that to work. Yeah, anyway, Beetlejuice 2, wild. The second thing I saw, if we're okay moving on, I don't know. Gallifrey, if you have any questions about Beetlejuice 2, that's a good time to ask. I am Beetlejuice 2. Okay. I will move on from Beetlejuice 2, assuming there's nothing else to say about that one. Nola, I see your comments about Sonic, and yeah, that's what that seems to be what I've heard. Is they're both good, but they get better. I don't know. I'm excited. I'll watch them at some point. I don't have a TV in my current apartment yet, and I'm thinking about if I want to get one of those and then watch the Sonic movies to break it in, but yeah, I'm thinking about it. Okay, if you haven't seen Beetlejuice 2, then I will not go into spoilers on that one, and you're going to see with friends. It's weird. Expect weird, but not like endearing weird. More like disjointed and weird. Anyway, second thing I saw. Let's switch over because I'm excited about this one. Really excited about this one. Beetlejuice I saw last week, but this I saw today. Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. If you haven't heard about this, then you've been missing out because Lego did it as a miniseries for Disney Plus, but it's a Lego Star Wars show with original characters, and the idea is they break the Star Wars universe and mix up canon, and all the different characters show up in weird and unusual circumstances. It was a lot of fun. Like, I genuinely was not expecting it to be this good. The marketing's gone pretty heavy on one specific thing, Darth Jar Jar. I'm saying this like people know who Darth Jar Jar is, but as we all know, we can't expect people to know Star Wars these days. Sadly, kids these days. Hang on a second. I turned on the AC because my computer's heating up. Let me know if this gets in the way of anything. But yeah, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Um, the main character is this character they made up called Sig Griebling, which I believe is I believe is an architectural term for something in the Star Wars universe. I forget what it was, but the idea behind it um, is Sig and his brother are nerf herders, which if you've seen the original Star Wars, you know is a joke about a insults to a specific profession that happens on agricultural worlds. It's a long gag. But the point is, they're nerf herders, and they find the cornerstone, which is a Lego brick that can dictate their entire reality. They accidentally take it out of the wall, which blows up the entire Star Wars universe and turns it into not exactly a mirror universe, but an alternate universe where a bunch of weird shit goes down. Immediately, the big headline changes. Sig's brother is suddenly the evil Sith Lord in charge of the galaxy. I'm gonna give myself a wooden axe now. I give myself a wooden axe and rolled at it to make this happen. But yeah, was that right? Accidentally destroys Star Wars universe, turns turns everything evil, and the Sith army in this is composed of Star Wars characters that people have been unfair to, in my opinion, and also correct opinion. A couple I didn't recognize. I think they're from the shows. One of them is Aldar Beto, who I really don't remember, or they make a joke in the movie that no one knows who the hell this guy is. So I feel fine admitting I don't know who that is. But the headliners, Darth Ray, Darth Jar Jar, and Darth Rose. So if you've seen Star Wars, if you've seen the prequels, you know that Jar Jar is a character that people did not like, and turned into a meme that he was actually a Sith Lord conducting all the evil of the trilogy. So Darth Jar Jar is now canon to Star Wars. Darth Ray is also canon to Star Wars and becomes one of the main Sith Lords of the show, which is great because Darth Ray showed up in one scene to sell toys, and here we are. We got a full canon Darth Ray now, and Darth Rose, Rose Tico from The Last Jedi, and kind of Rise of Skywalker, but they wrote her out because people were mean to her. Rose, I think, is an excellent character in her original media, and I'm glad she's being used more, even if it is in this ridiculous way that makes fun of the fact that Kelly Marie Tran, the actress, was relentlessly attacked on the internet over it. People did not like the character and didn't understand the part. but she's in this now, and we're going with it. So the Sith Lords are those. Um, we have some original characters, but the Jedi who guides the protagonist is Jedi Bob. Jedi Bob is a character. Jedi Bob is a character from Lego sets from the early 2000s. When they first made a Lego set, Lego Star Wars, one of the earliest sets had a generic Jedi there they called Jedi Bob, and he is now canon because this movie is great. I won't spoil the twist in it because I do recommend seeing this. It's marketed as a 4-episode miniseries, but they're each 20 minutes. It's basically a 90-minute movie. But it is so funny, and they take a lot of wild swings. There's some weird things that go on there, some cool things that go on there. It's a good mix overall. I had a good time with it, and I do recommend seeing it. Seeing Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. It's on Disney Plus. Trying to think what more I can say that won't spoil it because unfortunately a large part of it relies on the cameos and the characters from Star Wars showing up and being the characters doing something different. So I am I'll give you midlife crisis Luke, okay? That's what I'll do. I'll give you midlife crisis Luke. That was the wrong button. Yeah, so one of the first thoughts one of the first thoughts they give or one of the first weird swings they take is the protagonist is set up as a massive in-universe Star Wars fan, which doesn't always work, I think, but it's funny here, and I think it works in this context. Like he's supposed to be a Star Wars fan who cares about the universe and respects it. So when they start breaking shit, he knows. How does this work? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll give it 7. Okay. No, I'm trying to remember how I oriented this to make it make sense. Let's zoom out to see how I did this. Okay, we don't know the render distance. Bobby Mod stopped working for me. We'll play. So yeah, Jedi Bob is a character in this. Yeah, Nola, it doesn't become a commentary on it, on fan culture, and I think it had potential for it, but it was, let's say glib about it. I think it's good. Okay, wait, this direction was long, right? Yeah, this was my long direction, that's my wide direction. I was trying to remember which one did I do 900 blocks on, which one did I do 540 blocks on, because I have to stack 3 in a row, and I want to make sure I get the shape right. So yes, Jedi Bob is a character in this. We'll call this one the long side. Move out 7. Yeah. I mean, if it weren't a Lego movie made for kids, I would have expected it to take a harder stance on fan culture and fan entitlement. But I mean, there's only so much you can ask for in a Lego Star Wars movie on Disney Plus. And yes, I do think that if something is made for kids, it can still be good. But at the same time, do you really want that to be the meta commentary of the Lego Star Wars movie that has a Darth Jar Jar joke? Where was I? Midlife Crisis Luke. That was okay. That was the thing I was going to tell you to try to sell you on this movie. Midlife Crisis Luke. One of the things that they change when they break the Star Wars timeline is all the planets sort of change their purpose. There's a joke in there from the salt planet of Episode 8 suddenly being a pepper planet. There's also Tatooine is now a beachside planet, and the whole thing's underwater. And pod racing is still the main sport, though, and the main pod racer on Tatooine is Luke Skywalker, who looks like he does in the sequel trilogy. Doesn't really want to do anything. Doesn't really want to do anything other than cheat and win pod races. He has the Force, but he's not a Jedi, and he dresses like he's in a midlife crisis. So, midlife crisis Luke. It's a lot of fun. Most of the movie is the cameos, and I do recommend it for those. I don't normally recommend things for cameos, but I will say, in this case, because everything was a cracked mirror Star Wars, it was a lot of fun. Sorry, it was a lot of fun as a fan of the franchise. That was that was that. Anything else I could say without spoiling? I knew I should have written notes before. I know I should have written down notes before I started talking. But yeah, cracked mirror franchise, a lot of fun. Jedi Bob's there. They do some interesting things with the Jedi actually in terms of what they're good at. They introduce a way that the Jedi work that's unique to Lego that actually does some good world building on what it takes to be a Jedi and what it means to use the Force that I thought was kind of cool. So yeah, a lot of surprise depth from the Lego Star Wars movie. The other thing I will recommend discuss. Hello, Superstone. You've just come in on the end of the Lego Star Wars discussion. I'm saying it's a lot of fun, relies on cameos a lot, but like, what do you expect? But I think it does work for the way they're doing the story. And I'm debating how many spoilers I want to give. And I think I've satisfied my urge with Darth Jar Jar, Darth Ray, Darth Rose, and Midlife Crisis Luke. So yes, Lego Star Wars. The third thing I saw that I'm going to get into, unless people want to ask questions about Lego Star Wars, is Agatha all along. I literally watched the first two episodes of it while making dinner right before I started streaming. Bye, Nola. Continue. I said that too loudly. You were walking away from your life. I'm good at stream. Midlife Crisis Luke. I said that. I said Midlife Crisis Luke. I said. Where's I? Oh, Agatha all along. Sorry, I really should have kept notes. Midlife Crisis. I keep saying Midlife Crisis Luke. It's just. I don't know. It's funny to me. So yeah, last thing I saw, Agatha all along. I watched the first two episodes while I was making dinner right before I started stream. They dropped about 2 hours ago now. I liked it. I don't know a lot about the Marvel Universe's magic side. Like, I'm an X-Men fan first and foremost, so my favorite magic user in all of Marvel is Magic, the X-Men character, and I'm gonna rant about her for a while if I run out of things on this one. And I like Doctor Strange sometimes. I mean, you can do cool stuff with him. I read a really good Doctor Strange comic years ago now called The Last Days of Magic. Basically, the premise of that one was that this interdimensional alien race was trying to kill the idea of magic itself by shutting off everyone's access to it. And the how it worked was a bit wonky, but it got to a cool place the where all the magic characters of the Marvel universe had to show up and basically scrounge for magic out of artifacts to fight back. I thought it was really cool, and it's probably my favorite magic concept. Did I not have enough blocks? Little worried about messing up the dimensions now, but you know what? I can fix that later. Let's just um let's just assume I'm doing this right for stream purposes, so I can keep talking about the shows. The idea here is we're talking about the idea here Let's say magic. I like Last Day of Magic. I like Last Days of Magic. And for people who weren't here when I started, I am working on a rough approximation of the Johnson Space Center. I'm not going to say it is the Johnson Space Center because I am not doing it exactly, and I didn't really look at plans or anything. But I am trying to do a space center setup because I do want to eventually build that on a survival world as a base for a season. I think it'd be really cool if I lived in some kind of NASA HQ thing. So that's what I'm gradually working towards here. Agatha All Along. Okay, Agatha All Along was like Lost Days of Magic, great comic. I highly recommend it. I may talk about it one day on stream as a thing properly because I did comic reviews once and I missed doing those. Okay, good. I'm good. I'm glad I mentioned it because I forgot to say it. Yeah, not Johnson, Kennedy Space Center. Sorry. And I'm thinking of doing this on the Joe Hill's Patreon eventually. I'm just trying to model out some concepts right now while I think it through. Talk about shows and TV I've seen. So, Last Days of Magic, great comic. Magic, great character. Agatha All Along, not about either of those things. Agatha All Along picks up from WandaVision and features Agatha Harkness getting her memory back and then immediately going on a magic quest to get her powers back because Doctor Strange destroyed all the dark holds of the multiverse in his movie that I saw and thought was okay. I liked WandaVision a lot. It was I'm not gonna say last time I was actively excited about an MCU thing. It's definitely my favorite MCU TV show. But doing Agatha as a sequel slash spinoff is fun. And they also have the advantage of being able to play off of Doctor Strange too, which, like I said, I don't think was a very good movie. But they're playing with the universe in a way that I think that cinematic universes should work. It reminds me of how Marvel used to do these things and have movies play off each other, and I think it's rewarding in that sense. One of the big complaints of Doctor Strange 2 was it felt like they hadn't actually known what was happening in WandaVision enough to communicate with the team and structure the story around it. So Wanda was just kind of doing a thing that vaguely resembled what they wanted her to do, but it didn't really work. But they're fixing that here, I think, slowly. Catherine Hahn's a fantastic actress in it. Aubrey Plaza is a fantastic actress in it. All the cast and crew are great, and it's a lot of fun. What do I want to say about it? Because I watched it literally before getting on stream. I didn't even pause to process what I was going to say about it. I know. I like the idea of how magic works here. That they have to build a coven of people, and the people all have their own personal problems going on, and they're all playing off each other's personal problems. And my favorite thing about the coven, that's at the heart of the show, is that they pulled in a random woman off the street for one of them. Bit of an episode 2 twist I may be spoiling slightly, but I think it's funny. Basically, their the goal for Agatha is to go down this path called the Witch's Road that will help her unlock her magic powers that have been destroyed by Doctor Strange or whatever. The whatever is deliberate, but uh, and to get there, she needs 4 other witches to help her. So she gets 3. The fourth one, they haven't said it explicitly in the episodes they've released yet, but I'm pretty sure it's Aubrey Plaza's character, who they established in episode 1 does not mix with Agatha at all. And I'm forgetting the character's name now. But the way they set it up was instead they just grabbed a random woman off the street and made her stand in the circle. And if you've seen WandaVision, it's one of the neighbors from that, and she's really funny here, just as a random lady who has no idea what's going on, but is just happy to be included. And I hope she sticks around for the rest of the show like that. I'm trying to think narratively why you would design the show like that. I'm trying to figure out if she's there for comic relief or to have somebody normal to explain things to, because every other character knows magic. But right now, I'm just glad she's there. The other thing, the big mystery they're setting up with the show is Agatha gets saved from her fate at the end of WandaVision, which is basically to be stuck as a WandaVision drone, by some teenager. And the teenager is cursed, so he can't say his name. And the visuals on that were great. Like, let's say borderline body horror on that one to actually show his the way they handled him not being able to say his name. So we don't know who that is. The leading theory that I support is it is Billy Kaplan. Billy Kaplan is Wanda's son in the comics. In WandaVision, there was a Billy character, but it was established that that character was created by Wanda specifically for her simulation. So I think this is the realized version of that character. That's where I am right now on this. That could change if the show progresses. Honestly, if they do something cool and interesting, make it someone else, I'd be happy. Hey, Zels, you're coming on the WandaVision on the Agatha section. One of the other things I liked about it is the first episode is structured like a police drama for the first 30 minutes. And it plays off the WandaVision thing where she's stuck in this fictionalized reality. And she's playing a cop, real hard edge. Catherine Hahn is a great actress and sells this part exceptionally well also. So it was just fun to watch a police drama for 30 minutes that all of a sudden turns into a cosmic horror show. Let me get a block. Wait for it to load. Boom. Hey, Zels. Good seeing ya. Talking about TV. We now have 2 out of the 3 parking lots I wanted to model at the start of this. So that's progress, right? That's a cow that has not properly gotten... Oh, there you are. Okay. But yeah, Catherine Hahn just did a police drama in the middle of this magic show. And then episode 2 is her getting the gang together. And it is a lot of fun watching her just play an asshole. She does sell just being a dick to all these people and just running around and giving them immense insecurity and then conning them into joining her magic coven to do an impossible mission. And they set it up really nicely for that. So I'm excited to see where the show goes, which is the first time I think I've been excited about where a Disney Plus show is going in a while. The show before this, if I'm remembering correctly, was Secret Invasion. No, wait, no, X-Men. I guess they count X-Men, but I haven't seen all of X-Men, even though I am a massive X-Men fan. I have not seen the X-Men 97 show because I have not seen X-Men 1992. I want to watch that all the way through, but every time I start, it just doesn't really work for me. Like, it's not the version of the characters I like. But before that was Secret Invasion, and which isn't saying much in terms of this is a much better show because Secret Invasion sucked. But I don't know. It's a fun premise, and I'm game to see where it goes. Although I kind of do want the police drama show now that they did as a joke at the start of it. Those are the 3 things I watched this week, and I think I covered them all. Yeah, Beetlejuice 2, mediocre, but kind of weird, kind of fun. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I didn't press that button, did I? Find something different here. Do this in creative. Yeah, Beetlejuice 2, it's fun. I wouldn't say it's fine. Like, you'll probably enjoy it enough. Lego Star Wars, absolutely watch. Agatha, I'm gonna get another episode, see where it goes. So yeah, those are the 3 things I said I was gonna talk about on stream. Now I guess all that's left is building, and how long has it been? Okay, that was 45 minutes of me talking about the TV shows I thought was gonna take the whole stream, so that's fine. I guess we'll just build more parking lot now, and maybe talk about other stuff. I am going to open the floor to chat on directions on that one. And I'm acknowledging they're acknowledging there's a stream lag, so I'm gonna have to filibuster for a bit while I wait for chat to catch up to the fact that I am now asking you if you have anything else, if you've seen any of the things I talked about, want to see any of the things talked about, anything else you want to say about those things, like open window now. I'm filibustering. If you know anything about the Kennedy Space Center, um, that would also be appreciated because I was having trouble finding good reference photos. I have Google Maps open right now as my reference photo. If no one's responding or asking questions, I am going to probably continue the media thing. I guess I could talk about Star Trek Prodigy because I don't, if I recall correctly, I was not streaming when that wrapped up. I'm adding extra blocks here, I think. Adding half a stack that shouldn't be here. I'll have to delete that later. Yeah, Google Earth is the best idea I've had for this so far. Just trying to get the parking lot geometries now for reference. I wish I had architectural plans. I don't know where I'd look for those though. And I'll figure that out. But I'll figure that out after the stream probably. Maybe for next time I do this, if I pick this up again, I will do that. I do want to pick this up. I do like the concept of this, of like designing a build while I talk about other things as a stream series. I don't know. Early stages. I have orientation for my new job slash grad school tomorrow, and we'll see what that leaves me with in terms of motivation to make things. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I wasn't streaming. I know I wasn't streaming actively when Star Trek Prodigy was on because I was trying to figure out what I was doing for grad school. Uh, Star Trek Prodigy is also a really good show that's only on Hulu. Wait, am I saying this? Didn't I do a stream called Star Trek Prodigy? No, I did not. I am misremembering that. Okay, where was I? Star Trek Prodigy. It's a show set in the Star Trek canon in that universe, and I heard a pitch for it once that it's characters who aren't Star Wars learning what's or aren't Star Trek learning what Star Trek is. And I think that's a good description, and I think it's a fun show about people just learning about Star Trek from the outside. It's kind of pitched at kids for learning about the universe, which is fair. It's gotten pretty expansive, especially in the modern streaming age of Star Trek. But it's a lot of fun. Season 2 is out on Netflix now. Netflix picked up the show after Paramount killed it. And it's six kids playing around in the giant universe, doing time travel, space travel, shenanigans, and growing up in compelling ways. It's also a sequel to Voyager, which is my favorite Star Trek. So there's a lot of good stuff with Janeway as their mentor. If you haven't seen Voyager, Captain Janeway is, I was about to say, one of the best Star Trek captains. I remember literally everything she ever did on Voyager. If you've seen Voyager, you'll know why that's funny. If not, watch Star Trek Voyager Season 2, episode, I believe it's 17, Threshold. I forget which one it is, but it is infamous for what it represents about Voyager and Star Trek generally. I think one day I'll do a stream about Threshold specifically. Huh. I don't know. This whole media Minecraft thing, it appeals to me. Get to talk about shit I like and do the shit I like. So, works out. Prodigy. I'm trying to figure out what else I could say to pitch the show. Season one's a lot of fun. Also, it's what has it got? No, wait, I did do Prodigy stream. I did 10 of them. No, I did 10 episodes. I did 10 episodes of season one as a recap, and then I didn't do the rest of them because I can't remember why. One of these days I might get back to that. But no, Prodigy, I think, of all the things I've recommended on the stream, I'll throw Prodigy on the list. In order of encouragement I would give them, I would say Lego Star Wars, Agatha, Prodigy, Beetlejuice. Let's call that it. I don't remember if I need to go back for this. I'm going to go back anyway, just in case I did that wrong. And maybe future streams will have notes on the thing I'm going to talk about next to me instead of just relying on my own memory for this stuff, because there's a lot of stuff I could talk about right now, but none of it's organized enough for me to confidently present it as stream information. So I'll probably do that for entertainment stuff going forward. But I don't know. I have a lot of different fandoms and franchises I engage with that I would like to discuss in detail on stream at some point. And I've done a lot of them recently, and I also did last stream I did was about no, 2 streams ago was about the DNC itself when I went there and got to talk about that experience, which I think was cool and also is more timely and important. Doing a political stream would require a lot more research though, and I could do it, I just need to actually prep for it. Honestly, be good practice. I'm still spitballing on what I want to do with this format. So if anyone has a thing they want me to talk about, I'd appreciate direction and suggestion. But for now, space. The thing I like. I was intentionally going slowly on these first blocks, so I can have time to talk about things while I lay everything out. And I successfully did that. We now have the first 3 parking lots. And let's see if I have Bobby Mod on this version. Because I think I had to disable it. But let's see if this works. It does. I have 3 beautiful squares of parking lot now. And the eventual goal. Is this larger than Bobby's render distance? I think this is larger than Bobby's render distance. You know, I'm kind of impressed. How far does this go? That's awesome. Okay, yeah, I may want to rethink the scale. Yeah, may want to rethink the scale on this one. It's times like this I think about putting in a face camera so you can just see me have the realization dawning in my eyes as I gaze upon just how fucking huge these are. I have the 2001 Space Odyssey theme. It's not. That's not where it was from originally, is it? That's where I know it from. The bum 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 bum. Can you believe some people think I can't sing? You know, on one hand, I'm very impressed. On the other hand, I'm in full acknowledgement that this is three giant gray squares. And if this is what I can offer, then I have some slight concerns. But honestly, as I look at this and I look at the length of the stream, I have some concerns about how I'm doing this in terms of just stream prep and also architectural prep. So what I might do is use this as a convenient stopping point to come think about or go and think about how I want this to work in the future and come back probably next week with a better idea of how this works. Those pigs suffocated. That's dark. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the way to do this is to pause here, figure out what I'm doing with this project. Thank you all so much for coming out to this tonight. It was great having a lot of you here. I haven't seen some of you in a while. I haven't seen some of you on stream ever. Maybe you haven't. I just haven't noticed. Sorry about that if that's the case. But it was lovely seeing you all here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for listening to me talk about a bunch of different things that I like to varying degrees. And hopefully next time it'll be more coherent. And with that, in my own totally original words, keep adventuring.